for the inconvenience. It is not intentional by any means whatsoever. Potentially just the time zone difference. Me being in the UK, not really used to being connected on to American servers, so I'm just going to try and get into the server as quickly as possible then, and continue the live action brought to you for the NAGTS series. So we're going to connect. Again, very secure password, don't tell anyone I told you this, boys and girls. Very gender inclusive stream. So, are we back in the race? It looks like we are. Luckily, as my game has crashed for about the 50 millionth time. KFO now finally deciding to pit with 26 seconds left on the pit window. He left that very tight. But it looks like Anton is going to re-inherit the lead once again. Goalie, oh no, he's had a massive moment at the top of the hill. Scotty as well has managed to come in contact with him. Also, it's massive calamity at the top of the hill. Biblical scenes there between these two. And Scotty is round facing the wrong way at one of the quickest sections on the track. This is going to cost him a lot of time. He needs to get that turned around quickly. He resets to the pit lane though to repair the damaged goalie. Looks like he's carrying on. No, he has definitely got some massive damage to the rear wing. You can see the rear stability. He has no grip to the rear. Is he now just going to reset to the pit lane? A costly mistake for goalie. Really unfortunate. He was driving a great race. Is this going to inherit to some new net race leaders? Very, very crucial mistake though. You can see that rear wing is all bent up, not generating the downforce or rear grip. It needs that. Audi looking very, very much worse for wear. Anytime he tries to turn a corner, he's just got no grip to the rear whatsoever. And it looks like that is race pretty much over for goalie. No real time to recover the damage. So KFO and Freshie are going to inherit podium places. So very good news for them. I bet they're not complaining too much. As the two cars come together, and it looks like goalie is struggling to wheel that back to the pit lane. The 503 car of the GTR is going to overtake him as well, up into P4. Anton again still leading from KF from I believe is going to be Freshie. Is it Freshie? It is Freshie in third place. The 503 car just behind him, and Scotty as well. Where's he ended up? He's ended up all the way down in P11. He's only now just coming out the pit lane. Very unfortunate for these guys. They were driving such a great race all the way up until this point. So really, really is unfortunate for them. And Oli really just isn't getting the drive he really does perhaps want. The pit lane, it looks like it's pretty much going to be race over for him. He can't really recover that much. He's going to spin right in front of Gumbro, and he luckily manages to avoid that up into P5. Pretty much a free promotion for anyone on the grid. Sure, they're not complaining. Freshie G up into the podium positions as well. Very big calamity there though from goalie. Just did not want that car to bottle it at such a high speed track. He brought Scotty with him as well. I didn't quite catch the whole thing, but goalie, yeah, just was not whatsoever what he needed. He was driving such a good race. All he needed to do was drive at home for these final 20 minutes. Still 20 minutes to go though. Anything can happen. Anton could disconnect for all we know. Don't want to jinx it. Commentator's curse as Anton disconnects. No, of course, joking. But yeah. So it looks like the race has calmed down a little bit, quite wide wheel spread. So this is really just a quiet spot in the race, nothing really happening, so we're just going to find some filler. So it's been a pretty decent race. We've seen a lot of battles up and down the grid. Not the best as we come into the night stage of the race. Definitely the night where it is now. You can tell by my voice I'm getting rather tired, but all good. For myself, I'm still going. I had a tea. I've got some Rolos. Oh no, you better know what Rolos are over there in America, because if not, you are missing out. Very nice chocolate. So, 20 minutes left on the race. And entering the final third, Anton leads the way, followed by Carefo, Freshy G, A, Gumbro, Stony Arcanist after his drive-through up into P6. Very impressive. Badbull P7, Rushton P8, Vizsla P9, Hookup P10, Scotty, who was in P2, P3, fighting with Goalie. They're now both down in P11 and 12. Deathwolf P13. And not really being the best race for our bottom three at the moment. And again, anything can happen, of course. Very impressive to see those look how glowy those brake discs are. Absolutely amazing. You can really see the shine in the night time, and it is lovely. Nice to see, of course. But the nighttime driving is going to be a bit of a challenge for our drivers. It looks like Rushton has caught up onto the back of Badbull a little bit. These two fighting. But all over the back of him, pushing him through these corners now, trying to set up a move on LNR Badbull. As though he is going to try it in a couple of laps time to set up the move. Perhaps go for a cutback, swoop around the outside maybe if Badbull tries to park on the apex. A lot of different ways. He's just going to be analysing his opponent, seeing where he is quicker in this stage of the race, what corners he gains the most on, where he can brake later, where he can find a little bit of time compared to his rival. That's what a lot of people would be doing, so I'm assuming Rushton would be doing this. Now it is going to be pretty tricky to see. He's got some pretty nice headlights in front, really pushing Badbull through this sector of the track. Really the only ones that are actually together and for position on the track. This is for the P6 battle. Top 6 in the race is going to now down to 2/10 after 43 minutes of racing. Rushton has had a really good run off that corner though in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to pull to the outside for Blanchimont? It looks like he is on the outside. Is he going to be able to keep it there? He doesn't quite get alongside. Badbull takes the race line through Blanchimont. Is he going to defend into the bus stop chicane? Rushton looking for to get through inside. Try and find a way through, trying to, you know, just see if he can set up a cutback or bait him into a mistake. Look to the inside, then back out, sort of bait him into giving him the space when he didn't really need to or want to. That is what a lot of people would be doing. Badbull doesn't get quite as good of a run coming off that corner though, and once again these two are going to be going in the tow up the hill through a Rouge and up the Camel Straight. Definitely going to be one to watch for the P6 battle. The two Lexuses go. Oh no, a Lexus and a Bentley going at it. Bad Bull again, as I said earlier, in a very nice livery car. Rushton, as I said earlier as well, he has really had a good run up Eau Rouge though. In the slipstream, I'd like to see what's going on. He's going to stick to the inside, pull out late, and no, he's pulled out too late, and the car has become unstable, and he's lost the rear end as he pulled out too late. Didn't have the downforce to keep the car in a straight line, and as he pulled out too late, really swerved to the inside late, and the weight of the car did not want that. The tyres did not find the grip, and he has lost the rear. Nearly took Bad Bull with him. Definitely should have been a little bit smoother with his steering there. Rushton, difficult mistake to make. I bet he'll be kicking himself after that one. So Bad Bull with a little bit of breathing room. Rushton definitely with a bit of damage. Probably pulled out as they started to brake, and the car does not like that. As you start to brake and you turn, you got all the way on the front. So as you brake and turn, the rear end's just going to lift up, and you're going to go. You're just going to spin around, and it is not going to look pretty, especially as he swerved across with that amount of force. Especially after being in the slipstream, no air is getting to those wings to produce the downforce either. So it was all down to the tyres and the mechanical grip of the diffuser as well. So Rushton really just didn't have the grip to hold on, but he's going to be looking to claw away back at Bad Bull. He definitely did have the pace. Hopefully he doesn't have too much damage then, and he can try and chase after Bad Bull in this race. In the closing 15 minutes of the race, we're now 3/4 of the way through. But Rushton making good ground. That Lexus does look pretty battle torn and battle scarred after being through what is a pretty eventful Belgian GT3 Grand Prix. Yeah, not really had too many on-track battles apart from the start, which I perhaps missed. A couple of battles at the front, but mainly just being people crashing and bottling. But Anton has led the way beautifully from lap 1 after being mugged off the start from his teammate, fellow Lamborghini of a Sir Bobby, who is he still in the race? No, it looks like he's backed out and given up after, I don't blame him, after what has been a pretty dismal Grand Prix for him here in NAGTS. So Rushton gaining about 6/10 since he last encountered Bad Bull. So still clawing away at the gap. 13 minutes left in this race to go. Rushton looking pretty feisty. He's had good pace all race, has Rushton, you know, driving a pretty consistent race up until that mistake cost him dearly to Bad Bull, but he's going to try and make amends for it and claw back any time he has lost to Bad Bull in front. Oh wait, did Bad Bull spin? He's only now coming through, but Rushton has got in front of him. Rushton has actually got in front of Bad Bull. I missed the bottle from Bad Bull. He's actually now behind him and battling with Vizlaguy, who's also managed to get in front of him. So Bad Bull managed to bottle it somewhere in that middle sector and didn't quite catch that, unfortunately, but he's going to be looking to get past Vizlaguy. Don't quite have the live gaps, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. ACC should really add that bit more versatility for the spectators, but Bad Bull really on a resurgence. We've got 12 minutes left in the race, about 6 laps left to go for these guys to complete. 19 laps completed so far, 6 more to go. Will be about 25 as they cross the line. So Bad Bull and Vizlaguy looking to be going at it, both in the Bentley. Bad Bull going really wide. Looks like he may have some front end damage potentially, as the car is a bit knocked, maybe a bit of toe angle or camber angle affected there from the potential crash or spin he's had. It looks like he's going to peel into the pit lane to fix said damage. A lot of weight lifted off Vizlaguy's shoulders there. Hookup will be promoted into P9. Will Scotty J also take that position? It looks like he will. Death Wolf is a bit far behind to take that, so Bad Bull is going to lose out quite a lot here as Russian is using quite a bit of the track on the inside there. So looks like the race is pretty calmed down at the moment, not too much going on. So we'll go on board with your leader of Anton, as he's got Goalie, who bottled it earlier in the race for company, but we haven't seen much of him, so we'll just go on and admire what has been a gorgeous drive for Anton so far in the race after being mugged from the start. He's drove a really consistent race. Haven't really had much of him. You can really see how he attacks those curbs on the entry and exit, really using them to the advantage, and how red hot those exhausts are. But yeah, he's driving pretty aggressively. Got a 43-second lead to the car behind. He's driven just completely flawless all race, cannot fault his driving whatsoever, really using the curbs to his advantage. Goalie keeping him honest though, he is lapped, so he won't be too much of a threat for Anton, but we can admire his driving nonetheless. Looks like further back between the 23 car. Looks like Scotty has got someone for company. Don't know who it is. A little bit in front, but we'll go back to our leader. Nothing really happening in these dying stages. Really, he's kept him honest, perhaps with his fresh tyre using all the curb is Anton. So Goalie kept him honest, shows he did have the pace. Perhaps if he didn't make that mistake at the top of the hill, be a bit of contact with Scotty or something. I quite missed it, so couldn't see it. But perhaps he could have a little bit of a battle, give Anton something to race for. Don't want to come in contact with him though, that wouldn't be ideal, as Anton makes a bit of a mistake there, probably his first of the race. Goalie goes through and unlaps himself. He's got a lot of ground to make up in 8 minutes if he wants any chance of winning the race. As Rushton has actually peeled into the pits, perhaps made a mistake and caused himself some damage, so he's going to be tumbling down the order, as well as Hookup is gifted, and so is Visitor Guy in a couple of positions, so I'm sure they're not complaining. A running pretty quietly in P4 as well, saw him with some good pace earlier on in the race. How's Freshy getting on? He's just driving quietly. A is also driving up to him a little bit. He's got a few laps to try and catch up to him a little bit. Perhaps it could be a last lap showdown. Oh, and A gets a bit squirmy at the top of the hill, having to correct it, and just snaps back at him. That is a massive shunt into that barrier. Really fast, high-speed crash, and that is going to cost him a lot. You can see the damage to that. Nissan definitely not ideal. He's really going to be struggling for grip now, potentially having to come in, which is going to gift it to Stony Arcanist, who, after all that he's been through, could take a P4 finish in this race as long as he keeps it clean for the next 7 minutes. And KFO again keeping a little bit within Anton. KFO driving a pretty good race in P2. Wasn't there to start the race, but definitely made the most of other people's mistakes. Not making his own, so you really have to give those people credit in this race. Whereas Scotty has still managed to keep it in P9, driving a great race after what was a pretty so again very wide wheel spread through there though. Rushton on the back of Scotty, no, Rushton on the back of Fresh, not for position for lap. Close, couple of laps left to go with 5 minutes, nothing really happening, everyone a bit bunched up and all over the place with bottles galore. Not really been the most eventful race apart from a couple of crashes and a couple of battles up and down the field. Other than that, it's been a pretty good race. Anton really showing his skill around the Spa circuit. Everyone driving a pretty clean race. Couple of laps left to go. 3 minutes left in the race. Where's Anton? On track, coming through P1, it seems. Oh no, maybe not. Coming through No Name on the run to P1. Two and a half minutes left to go, so it looks like next lap will be the last lap for Anton, as he is going to cross the line with less than a lot of time remaining. So this is the penultimate lap of the race, and these are going to be your results, as there's no real fights on track. Very spread out, as you can see on the track map. And Anton's still just driving away rather nicely. Seriously could not fault this man's driving though, as he is on the final lap of the race. 20-second lead to KFO. He sort of closed it up a little bit, but I don't think Anton is too bothered about 8 seconds when he had a 40-second lead. You know, he's just driving at home, being consistent and keeping the gap where it needs to be. Doesn't want to try and make too many mistakes, as he's seen a lot of people do in this race. Does not want to cost himself this win when he has driven so brilliantly all race. Massive congratulations to this guy, as long as he doesn't bottle it on this last little sprint to the line. But yeah, this guy has been doing mega. He put in a great pole time, led from the start. Well, didn't lead from the start, should have, but the Lamborghini overtook him just before the timing line. Overtook him though, and led from there. Hasn't even been challenged since, and just took off, put the consistency in, didn't make any mistakes that I've seen so far, and just controlled the race. So massive congratulations to Anton as he rounds P1. So Anthony rounding P1. It looks like there's a bit of grease on the track. I don't know if that is just some sunshine. Sunshine reflection. Looked as though there's a bit of grease on the track. But as Anton is going to round these last couple of corners through the bus stop chicane, he is well within his right to be proud of himself. After a mega drive, he's going to come across the line to win the ANA GTS Belgian Grand Prix. A massive dominant display as this guy comes in P7. KFO will cross the line a few seconds later just to take that P2. Well deserved from him. He's made the most and capitalised off other people's mistakes. Freshy G as well, coming through after a long while behind. Hookup Scotty J coming in P8. Definitely could have been a podium for him today. However, just got caught up in an incident earlier on in the race. Jimmy as well coming in P14. So great race for most people, just not really been many people's day in the office. Really rewarded consistency, as we saw KFO and Freshy G as well as Anton take the lead. Anarchist as well in P5 will be really proud of himself after that one. Freshy G though coming across the line to round off the podium positions in third place. A little while back now coming through P1 as we just wait for everyone to round the line. Coming across the line to finish a really good P4, dragging that damage home. Stony Arcanist, after all the odds being stacked against him with that drive-through earlier on in the race, has come home brilliantly. Consistency since then has been mega, and he comes across the line to finish P5. Gumbro a little bit behind as well. So he will be the last goalie with an 80-second time penalty. We'll see him drop down to P13. Don't know how he's going to say that, but the last couple will be rounding the grid. And now Gumbro through the final corner with those glowing hot brake discs, and he'll come across the line to finish a fantastic P6 as well for him. And Bad Bull finishes the race in the wall at the source. Everyone doing some celebratorial donuts from them as well. So big congrats to everyone today. Your results: Anton, Carefo, Freshy, A, Stony, Gombro, Vilza, Scotty, Hookup, Rushton, Bad Bull, Deathwolf, Goalie, I'm Not Jimmy, and Bad, all rounding off your grid. It's been a pleasure to commentate for you all today. Thanks for having me. I'm now off to bed. Thank you to all the admins for giving me this opportunity, and I hope to be here soon. Not really being the most exciting race for us all to watch, not too many battles, but hopefully we can have more of that in the future. I've been Zach, and has been NAWGTS. So thank you all for watching.